A smartphone with triple 64 megapixel sensors, and one of them is even 35 millimeters as the main camera sensors. That should give wonderful bokeh. Then it has a full screen display without any punches or notches or anything like this. OLED, a relatively new processor, all in one compact package with a good battery life. Yeah, I'm talking about the ZTE Axon 40 Ultra that I have here in my hands, and I want to do the unboxing and first look. So let's get started. Here we have the packaging of the ZTE 40 Ultra, Axon 40 Ultra, as you can see here, and ZTE logo, and here again the name, ZTE logo, and again the name, and some features already that you can see here, like Wi-Fi 6 certified, DTSX, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 as processor, Qualcomm, and Snapdragon sound as well. So yeah, let's just unbox it here. Let's get it out of the box to see how it looks like, and we can directly see the phone itself here, and let's just take it out. And yeah, this looks just feels great in the hand already. Nice curvy screens, nice back, ZTE logo, nice camera bump. And what is written here? Neo Vision Photography is written here, and we have all the free camera lenses there, some sensors, LED lights, and something more like 3 times 64 megapixels, 1.6 to 3.5. The aperture, I think 16 to 51 millimeters. I'm not sure if I read it correctly. Anyway, let's put it aside and I will talk about it later, because we have to talk about this relatively large box here, because there's something inside as well. Just like, for example, what we have in here, which is the manual, SIM eject tool somewhere hidden here, and I think a case as well. How do you open this up? Like this. There we go, the SIM eject tool. We can see the warranty card, and we get a nice case as well, which is like also something special, I would say. It's a TPU case, so nothing too special, condom case, but nevertheless, good thing that we have it there. I will check it out in a second. Let's put this aside. What do we have here? Power brick. So we have a power brick here as well. Feels a bit heavy. How do I open this one? Probably from down below here. So we have a power brick with 67 watts charging, and yeah, ZTE branded, and USB Type-C power brick. So we have to find somewhere the cable for USB Type-C, and yeah, here we have the USB Type-C to C cable, also a thicker one, I would say. And then we have something else inside here as well. This looks like to be headphone jack. Yes, we have a of course we have a USB Type-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter. I think it's an analog one, but we'll try out. And we have headphones here, simple headphones with 3.5 millimeter. Nice that they include such thing on the ZTE Axon 40 Ultra. So next thing I want to do is slap on this case here. As you can see, it's not like a completely clear case. It has a bit of like a milky look to it. So let's slap it on to see how this gorgeous phone looks like with the case. Oh, I think it's good. Camera bump is like, I think, protected. You can see that there's slightly the lip is going over the camera. And the same goes for the display, especially on the edges, it is protected. The sides are also protected, not open. We have buttons here, and I think it's pretty good clicky. 2 buttons, it's not a volume rocker. You can see 2 different buttons. And yeah, feels good in the hand. Let's turn this baby on. ZTE powered by Android. Let's see how this will work out. And let's get it out of the case, because this is also very, very cool here. Triple lens setup, but this feeling here. It's not sandstone. It looks a bit like sandstone, a bit slippery. Triple 64 megapixel setup with the main camera sensor being 35 millimeters. Very, very cool indeed. And here we have the device already started up. As you can see here, it is greeting me with MyOS welcome. and I can choose the language that I want to use. In this case, English is fine. I can choose the mobile network, but look at the device, look at the screen. Symmetric bezels left and right, so thin, no camera to see at all, but there is a camera hidden underneath the display. Not sure if you can we really see it or not. Let's check it out. Maybe slightly, but it's like, I don't see any camera. Do you see any camera there? I don't see anything there. Wonderful, wonderful, really wonderful device. And yeah, let's skip this here. And yeah, we'll, of course, connect to my Wi-Fi and so on, and we'll show you more of the device. So when it comes to biometrics, we have a face scanner, so I can set my face here. I have to set a pin here, so let's do a very, very easy pin and try to scan my face recognition. Okay, and turn on when raising. I don't like this, so I turn this off. And now let's scan my face quickly. It's a 2D face scan, but it's so cool to see it, that it's scanning my face even though I don't see any camera here. So cool. So yeah, fingerprint reader, let's check this out. Let's enter the pin, and the fingerprint reader is quite above here, which is like usually it's like lower here on such devices, and I really don't like it, but this one is like at the right position. I really like it. Okay, it's an optical fingerprint scanner, as you can see. I have to scan in a little bit more here and record the edges of my finger as well for it to scan in. Yeah, you know this already. So this is the operating system, MyOS, and it looks quite good. We have like the swipe up gesture to see an app drawer, which is there by default. Here's some apps, some bloatware apps, I would say. WPF Office, Facebook, Booking. Google Pay is there. They have their own browser apparently, and yeah, but this screen is so gorgeous. This is like unbelievable. Here you can see the specs of this device. We have a 6.8-inch screen because of this curved edges there. So it's curving around. This is why it's 6.8 inches, which sounds large, but it's not larger than other phones. Just like take for example here the other phone that I have here, Huawei Nova 10 Pro, I think 6.7 inch, so it's like feels heavier and bigger than the ZTE Axon 40 Ultra, which is super cool indeed. We have the Google feed here. We have a swipe down just to go to our control center / notifications. As you can see, it's updating, but let's check out the system. And yeah, looks like a clean system to me. We have various different settings here, connected devices, features, and we have also storage here. And from the 128 gigabytes, it's only using 17.44 gigabytes right now, which is quite okay in comparison to all the other flagship phones that are tested out, that are using at least 20 gigabytes. So this one is coming very slim here, which is, I think, pretty nice indeed. Yeah, when it comes to the battery, you can see battery is now at 64%. We have adaptive 5G scenarios and so on. And when we check out the specs in regards of battery life, you can see we have a 5000 milliampere hour battery in here. And why is it asking me stupid things here? We have 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes of RAM. I have the 8 gigabyte version here, and the triple 64 megapixel setup here on the ZTE Axon 40 Ultra. I like the operating system. It's fast and fluid, and it's something fresh, something like a little bit of a hybrid of a very heavy skin like MIUI, Motion UI, or some others, even Samsung One UI, or the Sony Xperia UI, which is more like stock Android. This is like something in between, where it's like a little bit more salty things added here that I really like, that giving taste to this device and like personality without overdoing it. And here you can see some app suggestions as well that I can show at the bottom and such things. So I like the operating system on first glance. When we take a look at the DRM info, we can see we have support for white wine level 1, which gives us in Netflix support for HD playback, full HD, but no HDR option here, and the same goes for Disney Plus and others. What I want to check out right now are the speakers, because we have a bottom firing speaker and a top firing speaker, to see how good they sound. So what you're hearing is that, yeah, it has some bass there, but the highs are just a bit too much in my opinion. So I don't like the sound so much because it's like too piercing to the ears, especially when you go to the higher volumes. I immediately had to turn it down, otherwise my ears would bleed. So this is like a bit of a problem with this phone, I would say. At 80% it's okay, but if you go over 80%, yeah, there's highs and mids, and highs are a bit sibilant and a bit too much. And yeah, the bass is not so strong on this one. Actually, there's basically no bass there, which is a bit sad. Otherwise, let's check out some of the camera samples that I did with this one here, and the triple 64 megapixel camera setup is doing a very good job, I would say. Especially I like the 35mm 64 megapixel main shooter, because it's giving us a very interesting new perspective on things, with a nice background blur, with a nice foreground blur, even a nice natural kind of way of taking pictures. And this is, I think, one of the major highlights of this phone, this main camera sensor. But also the other two ones are not so bad, I would say. Yeah, the ultra wide angle gets a bit soft towards the edges, but it's okay. Yeah, the zoom camera is not the best, but it is okay. And together with this very unique normal camera sensor, I would say you can get very good pictures out of it. It is not competing with the top flagships, but it's definitely a good camera setup on the back. What's not so good is the front-facing camera, because yeah, it is hidden under the display and you can see it. Even if the pictures are way better than the videos, it is still something that needs improvement to really compete against other smartphones in this price region. So what do you think about the photos? Let's check out the videos. Here we have the front-facing video camera on the ZTE Axon 40 Ultra under display camera, and you can see it blooming everywhere, even though we don't have summer here, because it's like having such an issue. 1080p only, the typical Chinese phone camera issue. I think besides Huawei and maybe Honor, there's not much of a competition there that supports 4K on the front. And yeah, this is sad. 1080p only. Stabilization is alright, I would say. It has the capabilities to record external audio via USB Type-C, which is pretty nice, but it is what it is. Just forget about this camera. Maybe for some video chatting it's okay, but not for selfies and not for videos. And now I'm holding it in my hand, hopefully far enough, because we have 35mm here on the main camera sensor. It has the good point that it gives me nice creamy bokeh, but the bad point that it's fairly large cropped in. At least it feels like this in contrast to all the other devices that I tried out. What do you think about this one here? And the cool thing is 4K 30. I think I can switch also to the ultra wide angle, which is also 64 megapixels. Nope, I cannot switch. I can zoom in, and it's only cropping in 10 times to the main sensor. So nope, I have to really stop recording. And now I switch to the ultra wide angle, also 64 megapixels. So I don't know why ZTE has these limitations that when I'm recording 4K 30, I cannot switch between all the lenses, which every other manufacturer, even Sony, is doing right now. So this is something that ZTE has to either upgrade with software, somehow fix it, or they have to bring this to the ZTE Axon 50 Ultra that will come out probably this year. So what do you think about this one here? And of course I have also the zoom capability, but for this I have to stop recording again. And now you can see the zoom camera, 4K 30 as well, also 64 megapixel. It can even record 4K 120 frames per second, and I think the quality is quite okay. What do you think about this quality here? Sadly, I cannot zoom out. The only thing I can do is like cropping in on something. Let's maybe crop on this there, and I can go up to, what is it, over 10 times, 15 times, 15 times zoom, which still looks okay, but it's not as sharp So what do you think about the zoom capabilities of the ZTE 40, the ZTE 40 Ultra, Axon 40 Ultra? So overall, the ZTE Axon 40 Ultra is a very, very cool device, I would say. I really like this form factor because it looks like a bigger phone, but it is actually small in the hand. It is thin and it feels very, very nice. Even though I don't like this TPU case here, that gives it a little bit of a cheaper kind of feeling. I really would like them to put a higher class case in there. I think they're selling one that is way, way better than the included one. But nevertheless, I think it's a very good and very interesting device with lots and lots of features that you would expect of a flagship device. It even comes with an IR blaster, which is very, very cool here. So you can control your televisions or other devices that use a remote with IR blasters. The camera system is the highlight, surprisingly, for this device because the 35mm equivalent lens, which is really, really cool when you want to take photos. Gives a nice background blur and perspective, very unique. It doesn't look like a smartphone camera at all, and I think this is what is standing out here, together with, I think, the multimedia system, which is okay. I don't like the speakers because they're a bit too creaky in the highest volume and higher volumes, but otherwise, yeah, I can definitely recommend this one, especially if you're not taking so much selfies, want a very, very good display, good battery life that I would say is okay. You get through the day for sure and maybe a half day afterwards, but it's nothing that will blow you away. Nevertheless, this one is a very, very good one from ZTE. And yeah, what do you think about this one? I will test it more and I will do some camera reviews as well. It's a bit harder to review this one with the 35mm camera. What do you think? Write it down in the comment section. That's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time. Bye.